In case you don't know who I am, and this is your first time joining the Dream Job Challenge, my name is Isialade Joby. I am a career growth strategist and a business growth strategist. I am really passionate about helping Black women live richer lives. I help them increase their income through their business and through their careers. I am the founder of Millennial Job Blueprint, an 8-week program that teaches Black women how to identify, attract, and secure their dream job without applying online in as little as 90 days. Okay, I'm also the founder of Powerful Make Power Moves, a community of Black millennial women determined to win in their careers and win in their lives. Today, we are talking about the LEAP method. Now, let me turn up my volume because I'm about to go in. Yesterday, I talked about the game-changing system, right? The new way that people are getting their dream jobs. I talked about having fierce clarity. I talked about having fierce confidence. And I talked about having the right connections. Now, today, we're going to jump into what I call the LEAP method. We're going to dig our heels into the concept of getting confident. Now, a lot of people would just say, okay, I'm just going to be confident by saying, I'm confident. Look at me. But people are logical. We need receipts. Like, on what basis should I be confident? Why? If you walk into a company now, into a position as a program manager, you have to actually know how to be a good program manager. You can't just wake up and say, I'm confident, so I'm going to be a program manager, but you don't know a thing about program managing, right? You haven't gotten any training. You haven't had any experience. You don't have any transferable experience. You have been a zookeeper. And yes, you can transfer some of that knowledge from zookeeping into program managing, absolutely. But if you don't understand that and you aren't properly positioned, you can't get that, right? So confidence doesn't just come from thin air. It comes from something inside of us. Something inside of us. And I'm going to use my LEAP method today to teach you a bit more about that. Now, I want you guys to think about something really quickly. Tell me if this sounds familiar. If you think you're not good enough, they'll think you're not good enough. If you think you're not good enough, they also will not think you're good enough. Get that. Whatever you think about yourself is literally how people perceive you. It's literally how you show up. Okay? So if you don't believe you're good enough, the employer, the recruiter, the hiring manager, they can smell low self-esteem. They can smell lack of confidence. And if you're not confident in you, then they definitely are not about to bet 80, 30, 35, $350,000, whatever. They're not going to bet that on you as a salary because you know you better than they know you. So they're thinking like, oh, she must know something about herself that we don't know because she doesn't believe in her. Okay? So whatever you believe in yourself, whatever you think about yourself, that's what's actually going to happen. Period. And you cannot attain what you don't first imagine. And that's why I posted that early in the group like last week. If you cannot imagine yourself being that director, being that HR manager, being that statistician, being whatever, if you can't actually see yourself being that, then you can't. You can't be it. And I want to take you through this quick exercise, something I learned. Okay? So I want you guys to see how your thoughts actually become an action. Okay? Your thoughts are a sentence in your head about a circumstance. Okay? Your thoughts are a sentence in your head. And then your feelings are an emotion in your body caused by that thought. Okay? Then the actions are what those thoughts cause you to do. So you begin to take actions because of the thoughts and the emotions you're feeling. So if you're feeling down, right, then what action do you take? You're like, oh, I'm not going to go out and network. Oh, I'm not going to go out and do the things that I know is going to move me forward. I don't feel like it. I'm sad. I'm down. So your actions follow those feelings. And then your results are a consequence of those actions. I feel down. I'm not going to do anything. So then what happens? You don't get anything. So what started out as a simple thought moved to feelings. And then your feelings moved to actions. And then your actions created results. Now, if you see a position that you want, but you tell yourself, I'm not good enough. If you disqualify yourself, then what happens? You don't go after the position and you never get it. And it sounds simple, but if you guys don't stop these negative mindsets and thought patterns, you're never going to have the things you want. I can give you all the strategies. I can give you all the tools. I have given women strategies to grow their business to 6 figures. I have given women strategies on how to get their dream job. And you know what they do? Some of them run away. They ghost me. Like how some of you get ghosted by recruiters. People have ghosted me after getting the strategies they need to win. So it's not just about me telling you, oh, how you fix a resume, what you put on LinkedIn. No, it doesn't start there. It starts with this. And it starts with your heart and your confidence. And when you have this and this in alignment, listen, you will walk in and you will get a job and they haven't even seen your resume because your mindset and your heart set is so on point. So that's why I am hammering on this at the beginning of this challenge before I get into the strategic and tactical. Okay, here's how you find hidden roles. Okay, here's how you, your resume, your LinkedIn, negotiating. We're going to get to that. But if you don't break free in here and in here, nothing is going to happen for you. And I have worked with coaches. I have paid thousands of dollars so that I could show up in front of you guys today with my mindset free, with my mind set free. Get that right now. And I don't care how many rejections you face. I don't care how many things have not worked out in your past. One thing I say to myself, you guys know I'm a believer. I know everyone isn't. But one thing that was a breakthrough for me this year was I understood that my history was not God's story for me. So my history is not his story for me. When I got that revelation, everything changed for me because my mom is divorced. So my mom was a single mom. We struggled financially. I come from a string of, broken homes with my family. Like a lot of junk has happened in my life. And tomorrow night at the bonus training, I'm actually going to share my story with you guys of how I got my dream jobs without applying and how I was let go of a nannying job, even though I had 2 degrees, y'all, and I could not find anything. Like, I'm going to share my journey candidly with y'all tomorrow because I don't hold things back. But I have every reason not to believe in myself. But Jesus came and snatched me up and I started to believe the truth, right? I started to get the truth in me. I started to get the Bible in me. I started to get what is the truth about my life and about what God has for me. And I realized what has happened in the past does not have to happen to my future. So for those of you who have been rejected by multiple companies, let go from a company that you thought you were okay at, or you've been stuck at a dead-end job. That doesn't have to be your story. Your history is not his story for you. And once you get that, you can do anything. Okay? The woman today I posted in the group, she literally watched our training on Monday when I was talking about confidence. A recruiter hit her up today. And usually because she's unemployed, she would tell the recruiter, oh, I need to prepare. I'm going to talk to you later. Because her confidence and her mindset was in the right place, she got on the phone with that recruiter. And no, she told the recruiter, oh, I'm ready now. I can talk now. The recruiter said, okay, I'll call you in 10 minutes. The recruiter calls her and she sits on the phone and she tells the recruiter why she is the answered prayer to their company. She didn't say it like that, but she essentially shared her experience, why she is the answer, why she is the one, why she is on point. She didn't even talk about being unemployed. Who cares? You have the experience, you have the skill set, you have what you need. You want me, whether I've been employed for 20 years, 2 years, whatever. Okay? Watch your emails Monday, Tuesday. I'm going to send you guys a story about a woman that I've mentored who got a $56,000 raise. And she went for a position that she was not qualified for. Watch your emails next week. I'm going to share that with you guys. Okay? So this woman, she got on this call with this recruiter and she went off. And she's like, EC, even if I don't get this job, I don't care. I believe in me again. So I need y'all to believe in you again. So I had to take it there real quick. We got to get this right before we start getting the strategies, the how do you do a resume. None of that matters if you don't believe that you can have your dream job. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop dwelling on your past. Don't focus on your age. I told y'all, there's a woman in my program who's 50 years old. Even if you're older, guess what? You have tons of experience. So it's really about positioning yourself. If you're young, you are willing and ready to do anything. I don't care your age. I don't care what you've been through. I don't care what has happened to you. I don't care how long you've been unemployed. I don't care how many jobs you've had or have not had. I don't care if you don't have a degree. If you can do the work, or if you're even willing to get the training to do the work, and you believe in yourself, and you're ready to grind and do the good work that others are not willing to do, and if you're ready to get that fierce clarity, if you're ready to walk in fierce confidence, and then make those incredible connections, you can have your dream job. Now let's jump into the LEAP method. You guys are like, okay, EC, that's great. This is awesome what you're telling me, but how do I actually practically become confident in myself? So this is what we do. This is what I like to do. The LEAP method is understanding the value you bring to a position. The LEAP method is understanding your value. It's taking tabs, sitting down and reflecting on why you are such a freaking boss. The LEAP method is looking at your skill set, both your hard skills and your soft skills. So the hard skills like, hey, I know how to program. Hey, I know how to manage, manage certain systems, work on certain systems. And then your soft skills. Some of y'all your customer service skills, the way you talk to people, unrivaled. You know how to bring someone from a 10 to a 1 in 2 seconds. Some of you, your organizational skills, you're able to look at something and you can see it from A to Z. You cannot discount these skills, these strengths, these gifts, just because you're so good at it. And I'm going to talk about strengths in a second. So the LEAP method is one, your skills, taking stock of your skills. Okay. You have skills. Don't tell me you don't have any. That is a lie from hell. Okay. That is the enemy trying to throw you off your game and make you not believe in yourself. One thing that happens is when we get so familiar with ourselves, like, oh yeah, so what? I can manage 100 people. That's not a big deal. Especially if a lot of people have not been praising you, if you've been feeling undervalued and overlooked at work, you start to devalue the quality of work that you do. And if you've been let go from your job, or you've been unemployed, or you've been dealing with a lot of office politics, you start to feel bad about yourself. And you start to feel like you don't really bring anything to the table. But guess what? You can do things that I cannot do. You have skill sets that you have cultivated these past 2 years, 20 years, 30 years, 15 years, 5 years. And I don't care what industry, I don't care what field. Because in the bonus training tomorrow night, I'm going to talk about the power of your experience and transferring your experience and positioning your experience in such a way that makes you the right candidate. So I'm going to talk about that in the bonus training tomorrow night. Today, I'm going to focus on the LEAP method right now. So one, your skill set, sitting down with yourself, writing down a list. What are my skills? What am I killer at? What are my hard skills? Get on Google, hard skills. If you don't know your hard skills for your industry, type in hard skills. Hard skills and then your industry, or just a list of hard skills. Look at them. And your soft skills. Get that on a list. 2, in the LEAP method, your experience. Ooh, y'all, this is some of my favorite stuff. Y'all are so incredibly experienced, and it is so sad the lies you believe about yourself. Experience is looking at your work projects, looking at your projects outside of work, your leadership in church, your leadership at where you volunteer, in your social groups, in your workplace, and writing down that experience, what you've been exposed to, what you've been able to do. Write down that experience, what you've seen, what you've touched, where you've worked, what projects you've been on, what kind of teams you've worked on, what kind of software you've worked with. Okay? Listen, you have to write down your experience. And you're not just going to write down, oh, I've been working at this one job forever. Learn to brag on you, Black woman. That is something we don't do enough of. We don't know how to brag on ourselves. We're always like, oh, yeah, I guess. No, this is not the time. And y'all know I'm all about, the word. I'm all about humility. But there's a time where you have to step up because no one is going to brag on you for you. No one knows your story, right? You're the only one that can tell it. You're the only one that can share with the world how amazing you are, this is why some of y'all are being passed up for promotion, because you don't talk, you don't speak. Your manager doesn't know your wins and how you've been killing it. Your manager has kids, a wife. Your manager has so much going on. He's not sitting up here taking tabs of your wins. You have to do that for you. You need to learn to brag on you. You should have a brag file. In my program, I call this a golden brag file, a golden file where you just throw your wins. Every week, you're like, how did I kill it this week? What project moved forward because of me? What moved forward because of me? Remember, when you guys saw me on Tiffany's Live, I talked about if you struggle with figuring out your accomplishments, actually, I'll get there in a second. So your experience, you need to write down all your experience. And some of it may not be as relevant. And the thing is, as you're crafting your story, we're going to talk about crafting stories on Thursday. And I'm going to talk about crafting stories in the bonus training tomorrow night. As you're crafting your story, some experience doesn't fit. Some of y'all just throw all your experience in on a piece of paper and you're like, here, hire me. And I'm looking at it like, okay, so you used to do customer service, you now do project management, you now do organizational health. So what am I hiring you for? You just threw everything on here. You just dumped it on here. No, doing yourself a disservice, but we'll get there. Let me not get ahead of myself. That's for another day. So far the LEAP method is taking stock of your skill set, taking stock of your experience, because honey child, you are experienced. Okay. The third is your strengths. It's one of my favorite. What are you bomb at? Whew, listen, y'all are so bomb. It's crazy. You are so beyond gifted and talented, and you have so many strengths. But the problem is your head is down working, and you have not met a EC to sit here and extract it out of you. One thing I do with my clients, I extract the gold out of them. I help them see themselves. There's one girl in my program, and she had to go back home overseas because her work visa hadn't worked out. And she's in my program. She's trying to get her dream job. And she's international now. And when we were done with her resume, like when she turned in her resume and we reviewed it, I was like, do you know how incredible you are? And she was like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, you are awesome. You can do this. And I was looking at her resume, her skill set. She's into data science. So she does crazy stuff with Excel. And she's like, yeah, I don't know. My last job didn't hire me, so I don't know if I'm good. I'm like, you are amazing. So I want to tell you, you are amazing, amazing. And you have strengths. And the thing is, when we're so good at stuff, sometimes we get so what is the word? Familiar with ourselves. It's like, oh yeah, I can speak Chinese, but who cares? Like, or you focus on the gifts you don't have. Like, oh, I'm great with people and I'm great with sales, but I don't know marketing, so I'm not worthy. Do you see how you try to downplay your gift just because you don't have another gift? But there's a place in the Bible that talks about the body. Right. And like you have a head, you have an eye. And if the eye was saying to the nose, oh, I can't smell, I can only see. It's like, are you dumb? You're here to see. That's your job. You're here to smell. You're here to talk. Right. So you have a job. You have strengths. You have gifts. You have things that you're good at, and you're completely ignoring them. What you need to be doing is you need to lean into those strengths and those gifts. And this is something we do in my paid program. I have a 23-page workbook where I help you identify your passions, your strengths, your skills, your gifts, what really makes you come alive. Because if y'all could figure out what you love and what makes you come alive, you would kill it at a job. And people think that when they're at a job, they don't like the answer is entrepreneurship. That's not always the answer, because the same strengths and gifts that you still haven't identified, those are the strengths and gifts that you need in entrepreneurship. What I do in my business, what I do with y'all is what I did when I was working. I was a teacher in a season. Okay, I did accounting. I did numbers, growth strategy stuff. That's what I do now. So stop trying to run from your calling by, oh, I'm going to start a business. And that fails too, because you don't really know what you're supposed to be doing. See, y'all got me preaching. I just came on here to teach us a simple lesson. Y'all got me preaching on here. But this is true. Lean into your strength. Stop going after positions that don't work with you. Like you're a square trying to fit into a circle. Why? When there are hundreds of thousands of jobs. Told y'all got me out here preaching. Okay, so skills, experience, your strengths, and the last one of my favorite ones, accomplishments. And this is where your brag file really comes into play. Y'all need to sit down and be like, okay, this is why I am the bomb. These are the wins I've gotten my company. These are the wins I've gotten my company. These are the wins I have gotten. I am the director of fundraising at my in my campus ministry. So I graduated from college in 2012, but I'm a part of this incredible campus ministry called Bethel Campus Fellowship, and they love students just knowing Jesus, and y'all already know what I'm about, so I love it. And I have helped the ministry raise hundreds of thousands of dollars. Best believe when I walk into a building, that's one of my accomplishments. Even though it's not in my full time, right? You guys have to learn how to glean accomplishments from your entire life because you are multi-passionate and multifaceted. And that's one of the things that makes you amazing. That you can show up in your social group, and you can show up at a board meeting, you can show up in your nonprofit, and you can show up at your job. And wherever you show up, you kill it. And you're good at it. And even if you are, volunteering at the Boys and Girls Club and you're tutoring young kids, those kids are getting the math problems right because you're able to teach, because you're able to connect. Do y'all see what I'm saying? Your gift is at play all day long, but you're so busy discounting it because someone didn't hire you. Bump them. Either you were going after the wrong job, shame on you, or you weren't able to articulate how great you are, shame on you, or they just missed out on the gem that you are and it wasn't for you, which is fine, okay? You need to be able to write down your accomplishments. Some of y'all resumes is just a list of responsibilities. This is what I do at my job. I pick up the phone. No, that's why no one wants to hire you, because no one cares about your responsibilities. They care about what you can come into the company and get done for them. Accomplishments. Our resumes in the Millennial Job Blueprint program, stacked. All accomplishments, and we teach you how to extract accomplishments out of the work you've done. Because some of y'all, all you need is for someone to sit here and just peel your eyelids back. And I'm snatching y'all edges right now. Like some of y'all are about to go back and just be able to redo your whole resume just off the strength of what I'm teaching now. So I need you accomplishments, write them all down and quantify them, right? Find out numbers. Like y'all are doing great work. Y'all are changing lives. Y'all are impacting people, but no one knows because you don't write it down. And then you forget. And then when you get to interviews, you clam up. You're not able to speak to what you've done because you haven't taken stock of your work. Can you imagine walking into an interview and you have like all your wins, all your accomplishments, like you've written them down, you've thought about them already. When they ask you, tell us about a time you worked on a team, you'll sit up there and be like, oh, let me tell you about the time I worked on a team and we got a 30% increase in engagement. Let me tell you. But some of y'all can't do that. You can't do that because all you're doing, you're so timid and you're like, oh, I'm not sure. I mean, a time I worked on a team, I got this assignment one time. No one wants to hire that. That's dusty. You need to reach into you, sit down, look at your job, think about the projects you've worked on, go back into your work email if you need to, talk to your coworker. Sometimes it's hard for us to see ourselves. So go talk to your coworkers and be like, man, what do you see in me? What projects did we work on lately that I really killed it? Whatever. Do what you need to do. But this LEAP method I'm talking about, if you get these 4 things together, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Now, on the webinar, on the training tomorrow, I'm going to talk about what to do when you feel like you don't have the experience, because I had a great woman who did not have the traditional experience, yet got a job where she pretty much tripled her salary. How did she do it? I'm going to talk about that tomorrow night. What I want you to focus on and meditate on tonight, because I've snatched all the edges and y'all had no hair left. So we're about to round this baby up. What I want you to focus on is the LEAP method. The LEAP method. What are my skills? Okay, what is my experience? What are my strengths? And what are my accomplishments? Okay? I want you to sit down and write it down. The homework we give you today is going to be simple. It's going to be like write down one strength, I believe. I forgot what it is. It's already going to be posted in the group. But for those who are serious about going to another level, after you get off this live, sit down and really take stock of your life. And then you're going to be like, dang, I'm amazing. And once you get that, someone said I'm bald headed. Y'all got me crying. Once you get that, you will be unstoppable. I'm telling you. And your dream job, forget it. It's right there. Another girl in my program, I'm going to interview her next week so you guys can see her. We're going to have our interview right in the group. This girl was timid, scared. I think I told y'all about her. She's like, I don't want to talk to anyone, EC. No. But guess what? That temp job that she has paying her pennies, she's like, you know what? I think it's time. Because you know when you get hard pressed into a corner and you're like, if I don't do something, life is really about to be over. Some of y'all are there. Some of y'all are in a corner. Your bills, you are literally like, if I have to go to this job in 2020, I'm going to just leave the country. Like, you are there. This is where my student was. So she did what I told her to do. She did the clarity exercises. Okay. She reached out to people. She fixed her dusty resume and she followed every single thing I told her to do on her resume and LinkedIn. Now she's turning down job offers, y'all. She got Deloitte. Essentially, if you're in the business arena or professional arena, these are the top companies. She has Deloitte. She has Accenture. She has the World Bank. People pressing her out. And she's like, no, thank you. She's like, EC, I have my eye on my dream position. I have an interview. She has an interview tomorrow. Keep her lifted. She's like, EC, this is what I want. This is the money I want. And because I'm confident and I know what I want and I know how good I am, and because my resume showcases how great I am confident enough to turn down the other jobs. There is no spirit of desperation in her. We talked about that yesterday. She's walking into interviews confidently. And this girl was, y'all, her mom didn't even want her to invest in the program. Her mom's like, you don't have enough money. Why are you doing that? She's like, Mom, I need a change. And now her mom is like, oh my goodness, I'm so happy you're in EC's program because you are a different person that is worth every dime. And she has lifetime access to the program. So when she's ready to level up at her next job, or when it's time for promotions and she needs to negotiate her salary, she's just going to go into my program, open up the negotiation script, read it, and get her money. So I need you guys to take stock and be like, listen, my life cannot be the same in 2020. Because guys, getting confident, it changes everything in your life. The way you show up as a wife, the way you show up as a mom, the way you show up as a friend. Your lack of confidence has caused you to miss out on so many opportunities. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. You are in this challenge for a reason. And I'm telling you, you're going to get your transformation. And some of y'all are going to choose to work with me. And believe me, you're going to have me in your corner for weeks as your own personal coach. And I can't wait for the people who make that decision. I'm going to open it up to y'all and let y'all know when that's available. I cannot wait to work with some of y'all like closely because I'm finna be your coach and pull you across, drag you across that finish line. And I want you to be like my other clients who got 30% salary increases, double promotions, happier, believe in themselves again. They got their back. Some of y'all need your back. Come on. Y'all know I could be on here all day. So I'm going to let you guys go. I cannot wait. Tomorrow, you guys get me like for like 2-3 hours. Okay. So I hope y'all are ready. Not that long, but we're going to do our training at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And then we're going to be right back here 8 p.m. for that bonus training. You don't want to miss it because if you've enjoyed me thus far, this bonus training and the special announcement I'm going to make, listen, I can't wait. So y'all have a great night. Y'all fuel me up. Y'all fill me up. Y'all get me so pumped. I am just so grateful for this work that I am just honored that I get to do this with you guys, and that a lot of you will never, ever be the same after today. Some of you will never be the same after today. And I can't wait to hear the stories and the testimonies. And I can't wait for you to get your back in 2020. All right, ladies, have a fantastic night. And I will see you back here tomorrow at 7 p.m. sharp. If you still have a couple friends who need this, I'm willing to let them into the group. All the videos will be stored in the announcement. So if you're like, okay, I need to watch this again, do that. I don't want to leave. I want to keep talking like, hey, so what y'all doing for dinner? But let me get off and go get ready for tomorrow. Everyone have a great night. All my love. Make sure you do the assignment for today. And for those of you who are ready to go to the next level, take it deeper. Have a great night.